Hi everyone, this is Herschel from Xade here, and you are listening to the Alpha, where we bring you the brightest minds from the fields of finance and trading. And today we have Aravind from AB Nexus, which is a crypto hedge fund. So, Arvind, why don't you tell us more about yourself?
Fantastic. Good to be here, Ashal. Podcast was very exciting. So I've been in the crypto space since 2016. I kind of dropped out of crypto and started a crypto hedge fund then. Did some crypto mining as well. And, we full time just trade crypto, find some good altcoins, try to go 100x. And, we have multiple clients. And I'm just an all out crypto DJ, basically, I have to say.
I mean, definitely, that's definitely great, and I think most of the people listening to this, they're also crypto degens. Uh, now my question is, what is a crypto hedge fund, right? I mean, how is it different from what a trader does, right? Like, what did you do separately as a hedge fund compared to an individual trader? And how does a crypto hedge fund work, right? Because people, I think most of us know what is a hedge fund, right? Even though it would be great if you can just explain it once. And where is the hedging in the hedge fund? So that's my question to you.
That's a fantastic way to put it. So, in fact, trading is one of the wings of a hedge fund. To simplify, a hedge fund essentially is if somebody else wants to invest into some asset class like crypto, they don't have the knowledge, we do it for them. To elaborate on how a crypto hedge fund is different from trading, I think one of the key aspects of a hedge fund is that we tend not to go short very often. And also, the outlook is a little bit more fundamental and long term, in that, I'll give you a simple example. We recently bought Near Protocol. It went up 2x and there was no question of selling. The same thing is impossible for a trader to come up with. It has a more long-term perspective and it's also very focused on long money. So our hedge fund, we just take in investments from clients who want exposure to crypto. Many of them are novices. Some of them are pretty savvy as well. And, we offer them multiple strategies, multiple portfolios, depending on their risk appetite. And yeah, that's how the essence of the crypto hedge fund is.
Got it. Makes sense. So my another question to you is: we recently saw a report of where we saw, the different returns of a hedge fund, right? Where several came in at 15%. There are several which failed to even beat the S&P. So as a crypto hedge fund, do you try to beat the returns of Bitcoin? And how do you ensure those returns, right? What are some strategies and what are some outlooks that you basically apply so that you continuously are able to generate those high returns, which are not only beating Bitcoin, but also they stay consistent over the years?
So I'd like to break that up into two parts. The first is that many investors, they don't really know about Bitcoin. While obviously the internal aim is to beat Bitcoin, most people are just looking for a dollar value in return. So we actually offer multiple portfolios for this reason. One of our portfolios, it actually holds Bitcoin and we try to outperform Bitcoin just by trading between Bitcoin on leverage. Leverage, which is moving the assets around well. That's on Bitcoin only portfolio. But yes, to answer your question, the whole purpose of crypto, even if you're a beginner, is that you'd anyway be buying Bitcoin or Ethereum. So you have to outperform. So the simplest way is take more risk and try to be good at it. If I would be lying if I said, crypto some free money or it will just always go up or something. You have to understand the risks that you're taking, do a lot of research, and be ready to have that skin in the game. We have had a lot of experience with that. We've really played the cycles well. When you're holding that token, it goes up 3x. To hold it there till it goes up to 20 and vice versa. Tokens down 80%, taking your entry there. That's what really separates a good investor from a bad investor. A lot about emotional control. And using basic techniques like buying low and selling high, which may sound really easy, you're going to really, really outperform Bitcoin. That's
Got it. Got it. Definitely makes sense. And like you mentioned earlier that you're a long only hedge fund, or that you mostly take long positions. So right now we are entering a bull market, but the thing is we have weathered through the bear market of 2023 and 2022. As a long only hedge fund or a hedge fund which takes mostly long positions, how was that year for you? And how did you manage to make those returns, make a returns as a hedge fund? Because hedge funds, well, people go to hedge funds when they want to make good returns in a bad year as well. So yeah, how was 22, 23 for you, and how did you manage to make returns during those years?
I'm going to let you in on a bit of secret. I'll help you understand. So, the previous bull run was probably one of the most successful bull runs that we've ever seen for our hedge fund. Even though we were there in the 2017 one, we were kind of new to it. We didn't really do it well. 2020-21 bull run was absolutely excellent. And I think we were about 80 or 90% exited at the highs. So we were actually very set for the lows. One of the funny things was that we had some of our stable coins in UST. So we lost a good chunk of our stable coin there, which is our profits. But as I just explained to you, we just followed very strong fundamentals and most of our assets were out by the highs. We only took our first entries all the way after Bitcoin came back down. So you can say that we had to be very precise, but just using this simple philosophy of making sure, you take your profits and you enter well, you can weather a lot of the drawdowns. And another simple thing I'd like to mention is that you don't want to look at a hedge fund as which will make extreme money in a bear market. Its job is just to hold the index. If you can just survive, maintain your basic capital. Like I think we went into drawdown about 30%, which I mean in a traditional space sounds extreme, but in a crypto space is very minimal. And we really held on and we planned that entry. We got that 25K entry, 15K entry for Bitcoin. And that really, shot us up in this current bull market. It's just about really accurate management.
Got it. Definitely makes sense. So now my question to you is, what do you think? I have two questions which are definitely something which all of the investors ask is, what do you think about leverage trading, right? Because we have seen a lot of people get wrecked due to leverage, and that's something which people usually avoid. So what do you think about leverage trading? And my second question to you is going to be, what do you think about basically, so some people believe that holding is the best strategy. What do you think about that?
So let's talk about leverage trading first. I'll tell it to you on all three levels. First, the most professional level. Yes, leverage trading is a good strategy, but you need to do it right. Then our personal experience as a hedge fund. In a bull market, leverage trading feels like earning free money. You get it wrong, you will just lose all your assets at once. We have had experiences where I think I might have taken 50 longs in a row. Of course, these are just for smaller amounts because we don't leverage trade in general. I got 50 longs in a row, right? I've had times 1.5x leverage trade has got liquidated. Okay, and I had collateral and I've added collateral. My point is that leverage trading as a fund is it's very difficult. Coming back to my personal thing, I'm personally very aggressive and I use leverage trade for my personal portfolio very often. I will use a leverage using DeFi, but yes, I do believe that leverage is very important if you really want to multiply returns. And the second question, can you just remind me, please?
Yep, definitely. And before we get on to the second question, not financial advice. So what is your advice, not financial advice? What would you like to say someone who wants to get into leverage trading? Should they go for leverage trading or should they not? The answer is no.
Don't. Because first of all, crypto is the most volatile. Second of all, whoever comes in is probably not going to just buy Ethereum and wait. He's going to buy dog coin, cat coin only. You're just going to buy random alts. You have enough leverage. Every day it's going up 30-50%. Just buy and just survive for the first 2 years. That is important.
So
but I did remember your previous question about hodling, right?
Yeah.
Do I think hodling is the best way? Well, I'll answer honestly. It is probably the second best way. The best way is to hodl well, which is, take some profits and then re-enter. But yes, I do believe you have to have faith in this market and this ecosystem and bear those gains and losses long term. Those are the people who really won.
Got it. Makes sense. Now, my third question to you is going to be, we want to get more technical about trading. What do you think about technical analysis, right? Because people usually believe technical analysis is just, drawing lines on a chart, just you're a node. So what do you think about technical analysis in general? And how does it compare to fundamental analysis?
So it's funny. We have 3 team members. One who does only technical analysis, meaning he specializes in it. One who does only fundamental analysis and one who does on-chain analysis. So that should tell you how important all these aspects are to a good trading strategy or just to being in any kind of investment career. So with regards to technical analysis, first of all, you need to understand that psychology is a thing. And there are some rigorous patterns that we have understood over many, many years. Human psychology in the end is somewhat predictable. Specifically, economic strategy can be predictable. That's what game theory is. Technical analysis aims to capture this by basically telling you that just like nature has certain rules which you can observe like seasons, the human psychology itself is bound by certain rules. So they have found a way to kind of chart these psychologies on the chart, saying that, for 180 days a price is held, it probably means it's going to be held for a long time. Very basic things like that. So I think TA has a very, very, very strong amount of value. At the same time, you are right. They're just lines on a chart and they don't reflect any, perfect thing or anything. It's going to break your line one day. So don't trust your line so much also. You need to back it up with other things.
Got it. So the advice is still just lines on the chart, but definitely it's one of the most. It's very very important. But don't rush it
It's
entirely.
perfect for timing entries and exits, for sure. It shows you what previous cycles used to show as success and failure.
So where do you source your alphas from, right? Because that's something which everybody wants to know. That's what the name of the show is. Where do you get your alpha from?
Okay. So I'm going to be very candid. Okay. So I'm revealing a lot of alpha about the alpha, but it's okay. The first thing is to understand deeply how Twitter works, because Twitter is going to be where 90% of the mainstream public spends their time. Understanding how the crypto Twitter works itself is important. 99.9% of it is rubbish and 0.1% of it is pure gold. Okay, you can get really early access to tokens by understanding the nature of crypto narratives using Twitter. So not using Twitter, but learning about how crypto Twitter works. Then, of course, is more intelligent tools like DeFi Llama, AlphaScan, Nansen.ai, Token Terminal. Using all these tokens and also understanding the social narrative, you can try to understand early moving tokens. Like a very simple strategy is like just go to the CoinGecko, observe the trending tokens. You see a token coming up repeatedly, put it on your watch list, chart your TA. You find a good entry, take that entry. So it's like a mixture of all these tools. But yes, the first alpha is social narratives, and following that is DeFi Llama and Token Terminal for on-chain analysis.
Got it. Makes sense. So that's some really good alpha for the alpha. Now, my second question to you is like, just told us how you initially source your alpha and how do you analyze it. So out of these, so if you were to rank your top 5 indicators, so once you get these alpha, what are the top 5 things that you look before investing?
So you would not believe this, because we're in a bull market, the only thing that you really need to pay attention to is, do people think this coin will go up? It's basically what is known as pumpermentals. Definitely people know what that means. A lot of times, if you're going to be honest about a token, the old ones are going to move slow, the new ones are going to move fast. The old ones are trustworthy, and the new ones are the aggressive. Anyway, if you're investing in Ethereum, Bitcoin, some Aave or something, you can just buy it at any time and don't worry, you'll be successful. But if you're looking for a risky entry or something unique, you just need to pay attention to the narrative. If you can capture the narrative, you're always going to make money. So that would be the most critical indicator, in my opinion.
Got it. Makes sense. So now, we are moving towards the end. So my question to you is, what is your thesis and what is your outlook for 2024 and beyond? And my second question to you is like, what does your portfolio look like for 2024? So yeah.
So thesis is I'm going to talk personally rather than from our fund perspective, because it's a little more conservative as a fund. I believe 28 was that was my bull flag essentially. I turned bullish as soon as Bitcoin broke through 28, and I've been very comfortable with this thesis since 2023, before it even when it was at 20s itself. We are in a clean bull market. What is very important is that this bull market is going to be very different than the previous ones. There's a lot more FOMO happening, a lot more interest happening. Money is moving faster, and the ETFs are always looking around the corner. So it is a very unique bull market in that there's a lot of money to be made. What kind of portfolios am I looking at? I think that first of all, we need to understand these narrative cycles. They'll keep coming. Like I have seen the tokens which people are talking about now for the last 5 years. They go up, they go down. So you should not be too holding on to one narrative. I'll just tell you what the thesis we have is. The first is always have a stable base, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum. The second is follow the infrastructure, which would mean L1s and L2s. Sol, AVAX, definitely. We're choosing the ones which have a little bit stronger communities, so they tend to pump a bit more. That's why Sol, AVAX. Though in this cycle, we have also added very, very interesting protocols like ICP. The Cosmos ecosystem has a very excellent set of tokens. TR, Injector, though Injector is a little bit hyped now. Just Cosmos, Osmosis, these are some fantastic tokens. Then I'll name some other sectors which we are heavily invested into. One would be, of course, the AI ML narrative, thanks to ChatGPT. So you're thinking tokens like, and here, of course, NFA, these are just tokens we really back. But I would say Render, Fetch.al, PAL, these are all very interesting tokens. The RWA narrative is absolutely fantastic. So, RWA, Deepen, the physical infrastructure. These two narratives also are booming quite a lot. Some of the tokens we have small allocations because it's a gamble would be things like Maple Finance, Clearpool, Polytrade. And to be honest, there's a lot of stuff going on in all these. But these are the basic sections. We also have holdings in gaming tokens, but there we enter a bit slowly in that we only choose very reputed gaming infrastructures. Nakamoto Games, Magic, are some of the tokens we have access to.
That sounds really
So,
great. Yeah,
I've given you a lot of our tokens.
got it. And I think let's move towards the last segment, and it's probably gonna be the most exciting segment we have. It's called the rapid fire, where I'm gonna ask you questions and you're gonna answer in 1 or 2 words, right? That's max. Okay, so let's start with it. Okay, Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Ethereum.
Which is the biggest scam coin out there?
Which is the biggest scam coin out there? Tron.
Okay, most bullish narrative into 2024.
Which is the most bullish narrative of 2024? L1s.
Okay, is Ethereum gonna be the world computer, or do all L1s have a future?
I believe somebody will kill Ethereum someday. So neither.
Solana or
A new
Ethereum?
L1 is going to arrive someday.
Solana or Ethereum?
Oof. It hurts to say this. Maybe Solana for the hype. Solana.
Okay,
Even
okay. Got it. Is crypto the future of finance?
Yes and no. It's going to be very big, but the philosophy is going to be the future of finance. Crypto philosophy is the future of governance itself.
Got it. Gaming or DeFi?
DeFi. No question. DeFi for life.
Got it. Most influential guy in Web3. The guy in Web3 who inspires you the most.
Who inspires us the most?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm pretty controversial. Okay. Let me say Ivan on Tech.
Okay.
Ivan on Tech is extremely bullish, but he has taught me that you need to be strong in this space. So I really like Ivan on Tech. I don't know if he's the most influential.
Got it. The DeFi narrative that you're the most bullish on?
Liquidity providing, concentrated liquidity providing. It's really changing the world.
Got it. And my last 2 questions to you is Satoshi or Vitalik? And my last question to you is, what do you think about consumer DeFi?
The previous question is very unfair. I'm actually not going to answer it. I cannot pick one of the two.
Okay,
they both changed my life. So okay. I'm going to say both. Sorry to say. What do I think about consumer DeFi?
Yeah, like
it's still just hype.
Okay,
it's not real yet. DeFi is still for the degens.
Okay, DeFi is still for the degens. Got it. Makes sense then. And I think so we are ending the alpha for now. And I think Aravind, you were really great, and we really got some great alpha. I mean, personally, like when I'm trading, right? So I got we got some good outlooks. We got to know how a hedge fund works, and that definitely helps, right? Because there is always a rule that the house always wins, right? And in this case, the hedge fund are the houses. So yeah, well, really great talking to you, Aravind. And thanks a lot for coming here. And yeah, would love to have you some other day as well. So thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Asha. Bye. Take care.